And then he said that there was some woman shared that
somebody in that room.
He wasn't even gonna marry. She wasn't even gonna marry.
She wasn't gonna say yes.
She wasn't gonna say yes to Paul.
And they're
And
like,
then Vanessa
who
was
said
like,
that? Who said
was
that?
it you, Chelsea?
I said, who said that?
Okay, no, was it you, Tiffany? Was it you, Irina? And Irina was like, well.
How disappointing is that question?
Hey guys, welcome back to Human or Resource. I'm Uma.
Selma.
Okay, Love is Blind, you guys. The reunion.
The live reunion.
Was it canceled?
No, it was not canceled. It was just delayed.
No, it was canceled. Definitely canceled. The live version of it. Oh. And they just recorded it.
Really?
And after they just presented.
No way.
Yes, that's what I think.
What did I just watch? I thought that was a live.
No, that was not live at all.
Well, why did they cancel the live then? I don't understand.
Well, what do you think, you guys?
What happened?
We all... How many millions wanted to watch this reunion?
Millions.
I would say
Don't
millions.
Play it. Don't play.
It can't be thousands.
Stop it.
It wouldn't crash if it was 1,000.
Yo, listen, I heard allegedly from Vanessa's mouth that they said they broke the internet.
No, they did not broke the internet.
You didn't broke the internet.
You broke Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder how many people that were watching a series and then they went to go get a bag of chips and they came back and refreshed it and it said, we're working on it.
It took an hour and almost 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. But, at the end of the day, we ended up seeing it and it wasn't worth it. Yeah.
You would say so, huh?
Yeah, some people got dragged.
So let's get into it. Everybody showed up for this reunion except for Josh and
Jackie.
Lord
yeah,
have
but
mercy.
Josh doesn't need to be there because, he got cut. Mm-hmm. Jackie didn't show up.
So we'll talk about that later. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about the golden couple that we have. Brett and Tiffany.
And Vanessa and Nick held it down.
And I also like Vanessa and her sassy questionnaire.
And Nick was buffering everything. Yeah, he's great.
So let's talk about the golden couple. Okay, Tiffany and Brett. What more we could say, you guys?
Yeah.
They did everything wonderful.
Yeah, I think a lot of people... go ahead.
It was such a mature relationship.
I think everybody who goes to Love is Blind aspire to have an outcome like that. Mm-hmm. People, honestly, they're the poster couple for Love is Blind. I think from all of Love is Blind history.
No. I feel like season 1, there was a couple there. I forgot the name.
I don't remember.
But then the season 1, they're the top number uno in the whole thing.
Yeah.
I feel like they're second. But other than that, they talked about, Brett's, shoes, what he was wearing,
bougie Brett, lifestyle,
and how they are living, and they talked about the sleeping situation, how Tiffany slept there, and Brett was a little pissed a little bit, but now it's a funny story.
It's super cute.
Yeah.
And then there's a part, Marshall showed up as well, and there's a part where he shared with everybody that there was a moment him and Tiffany had some conversations, tried to see if they would match, and it was an issue. Tiffany's age was an issue, which is why he didn't pursue her. Mm-hmm. And then after, but he told Brett that Tiffany's a great catch for you, and I think you should go for it. So I think they're giving some credit to Marshall for facilitating their union. Mm-hmm. So that's really nice. And but Marshall probably is punching himself right now because he's saying,
I could have Tiffany.
I could have got Tiffany. I was just focused
on age
Age
is nothing but a number.
Age is nothing but a number.
So the next couple is Kwame and Chelsea. Now I'm going to say this, okay? Well, I'm going to say it once.
Okay, now.
Okay, I'm going to give credit where credit is due.
Okay.
Kwame, your hairline looks good. And Chelsea, everything in pink, fantastic.
Can we get to... Listen, I don't know his hairline was a problem to begin with. Can we get to the bone of the story?
It was a problem.
Allegedly, Kwame said that he knew Chelsea was the one during the Calvin Klein photo shoot.
So
was the Calvin Klein? But when they were on Calvin Klein.
So she had to dress all in Calvin Klein in order to know that she was the one?
Yeah, okay. Fine. You tell people that, but we feel it differently. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the whole time you were giving everybody wishy-washy whether you were
one
into
foot
her or
in,
not.
1 foot out.
1 foot in, 1 foot out. And he's saying, at that moment, was a Calvin Klein photo shoot before or after Chelsea's birthday party gathering?
I think it was after.
I don't know. Anyways, now they go straight into Chelsea and Micah's situation. They had a conversation. Two civilized women had a conversation, and Micah had the opportunity to apologize for how she was behaving. And I could really commend her on that one. I think she handled herself very well. She did address the fact that she said to Kwame that, failed proposal and ha ha ha. And, Kwame took a shot to that. He hurt him very much.
His ego got bruised.
And we all saw that for the world to see. But, they really handled it very well. Chelsea said, I accept your apologies, even though there's some clips she didn't see, but, they went over that hump. And Micah was like, listen, like, hey, you know, allegedly her and Paul are allowed to do that in their relationship. But we'll get to that relationship later. But they handled it very well. Now, Kwame, though, said that, hey, listen, like, I'm going to apologize to three things over here. I'm going to, the fact that I was immature, you know, I apologize to Chelsea about that. I was very immature the way I handled myself.
I apologize to her family.
He said, I apologize to her family.
Yeah.
And then said, I apologize for the people who believed in us.
Well, I don't know who believed in you guys, and if they did, they believe in love. But it was a weird, listen, for what I have taken from this whole thing, from Kwame and Chelsea, you know, he's saving face, you know.
Yeah, I feel like he was completely doing damage control.
Yeah.
And he was trying to make himself look like, hey, listen, you know,
it wasn't only me
and
chasing. It was also Micah. That's what I got from it.
It sounded like 80% Micah chasing him, and he was solely fixated. Focus and fixated. That's what I said. Fixated.
Yeah.
Fixated on Chelsea, and that's cap.
Well, hold on. You know, I have to say this, you guys, and I know you guys are gonna come for me in the the comment section.
Where else are they gonna find you?
Yeah, sure. I felt like Micah was like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
She was shocked, or she was quiet, or I don't know what she was, you know, she was not there. She wasn't present, you know? She couldn't defend herself. And I know, you guys, listen, I am not delusional. I know she was a mean girl. I knew she was sketchy in many aspects. Let me just say that. But at that moment, listen, we can't deny, Kwame,
Yeah.
you chased after that girl. You wanted that girl, okay? She was your number one on your list. It wasn't Chelsea.
And, you know, kudos to Chelsea. Chelsea said that, listen, I'm a confident, independent woman. I know what I want. That's cool. Kwame looks like he knew what he wanted, too.
And he wanted Micah.
He wanted Micah, too.
Yeah.
Now, he dialed it back when he noticed that it's not going to manifest. And then he went to you full time. And can we just call a spade a spade? Like, who said that? Somebody said that. Call a spade a spade.
I don't remember.
I think Marshall said it. Not Marshall. So that is. Now, the Alex and Kwame name issue that he brought up, I know he explained it. It's like the management had him to use Alex and whatnot. I don't understand. And then maybe y'all could explain what he meant by that one. But to the average person, it sounds like you are hiding your ethnicity, right? So I know some people change their names because it's hard to pronounce. But Kwame is so simple to pronounce. I don't understand how it became a problem to begin with.
Well, you know, I'm going to say one thing. I am so happy that Chelsea finally met with Kwame's mom. About time.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she is fully accepted in the family now.
Yeah.
And he's not hiding her.
Yeah. And then Barbara allegedly is not a paid actor. So the next couple is Zach and Bliss. Now, listen, if you didn't believe in second chances, they're a perfect example. Now, Vanessa brought up they played the video of them dancing their wedding, and the song, I Hope You Dance. We heard the song. It's nice. Zach was like, you know what, let me talk to you about that song. I Hope You Dance. I Hope You Dance?
Yeah, I Hope You Dance.
He said that song really gives you a good outline of how our life, you know, happened. You know, it really tells you about the things that I was going through, and that I couldn't, you know, the challenge between me and Bliss, and I couldn't see past the mountains, and I was afraid at the altar if she was gonna say no, and I was afraid he used things that I took the path of least resistance.
So he took the easy way out.
And at the end it backfired, but it led me back to Bliss, and look how life was supposed to turn out.
And it's funny because if he's saying that Irina ensured me that, you know, she cared about me, she wanted me, and, you know, she accepts him.
Yes.
She doesn't care where he came from.
So you agree he did judged Bliss, right? He judged her based on her background. He said
she comes from a family that are everybody's educated, everybody's smart, you know, they're proper and all that. So in a way, I wouldn't say judging. I think he was afraid entering that, you know, family.
Okay, so
and he went
you made your judgment call. Yeah, he went your judgment call. He said he took the path of least resistance, and he said no, and he chose Irina. Don't forget, Irina and him, they did bond over a lot of their background, and the reason I mention is because Irina completely was destroyed in the live episode,
as she should.
Yes, but there's some parts of it where she shouldn't have taken some blame, and we'll get to it. But Zach chosen Irina because looking at their story life, they did match. Now, when Irina saw him, you can see that physically it was not her type. And moreover, his actions was not appealing to her. She didn't find it interesting. Even a lot of people mention on social media that staring glaze he does without blinking.
And I have to say, I will support her on that, because if somebody was staring at me and not blinking, I'll be scared. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was an ick. I would say that.
Yeah.
But I loved it that when Bliss sees him,
Yeah.
she's just staring into his lovely
She's consumed
eyes.
by his
You know,
looks
she's
and everything.
consumed
And she
by
loves
it.
everything. She's in awe of him.
Yeah.
So another thing too is that there were some challenges between Bliss and her father in accepting Zach, but at the end of the day, he
worked
ended up
out.
accepting it. Worked up. He even said that at the wedding or during the altar, he kind of looked at Zach and he nodded and he knew he got the stamp of approval.
Mm-hmm.
Even the daddy's paying for their honeymoon to Panama, so it looks like everything is coming to fruition for them. And good luck for a lot of people are happy and believe in second
You know
chances
what?
because of them.
I was scared for Bliss in the beginning, and I was
Yeah.
like, I was one of the ladies who said, Bliss, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But this definitely taught me that, you know, give a second chance if the guy is making, you know, an effort.
So let's get into Irina and Micah's situation. The duos, the mean girls, everybody
Mean
calls.
girls.
Yeah, so Irina showed up, unlike Jackie, she showed up. And you know what? They went ahead and replayed all those videos about how Irina and Micah were conducting themselves. You know, even when Amber was getting rejected by Paul and how she was crying, and Irina kind of laughed about it.
They
And
both
then-
laughed about it.
Yeah, yeah. And then when Jackie was crying because she thinks she found love in Marshall, they were laughing about it. And you know, Irina spent, I think, a good chunk of her time taking accountability, taking responsibility for her action, explaining herself the best way as possible.
Even
She did take some
though-
time of defending herself. And I think maybe when there's a part of misunderstanding, then she got to defend herself. But especially,
let's not forget,
especially
in
the
the
part where
beginning-
Zach, go ahead.
Well, let's not forget, in the beginning, she wanted to cry, and she started laughing.
You know,
And the audience laughed at her.
Okay, no, listen. Now, I'm not here
So
to
how
defend.
genuine is
I'm
this
not here to
woman?
defend Irina, but when you're in a situation or a predicament like that, and you're not a person, and you don't know how to channel your emotion, your anxiety, and you know you're coming in there on the spot hot, and people are calling you a mean girl, your emotion gonna look very crazy on camera. So she tried to cry and try to end up laughing, and too much. But I do know I'm taking
Well, it
account. I'm
comes down
taking
to,
the
is she
words.
genuine?
Her
And
words.
at this point, I don't think so.
Well, you're never gonna know other than the person's words, and she tried her best to explain herself the best way possible, and letting everybody know that listen, I went on there to try to find love, and it didn't work out for me. But I'm happy it worked out for Zach and Bliss. Now, Vanessa turned around and looked at him and saying, "Do you think? What did she say? Do you think, Irina took the relationship serious?" And he said, "No."
I think in the pause she did probably with him, because she did say that he was the best guy for her in the pods. But unfortunately, meeting him in person, she felt the ick.
Yeah.
And
See,
it didn't work out.
And you know the thing too, like, you know, Irina, you know, it didn't happen the way it happened for Tiffany and Brett, where they see each other, and it even added more to the relationship. Or when Chelsea saw Kwame and May, it added more to the relationship. Irina saw Zach, and it was like, no, he might not be it.
Yeah.
And it didn't help the fact that she wasn't even getting that type of a bond, or what do you call that? I don't know what you call it. She wasn't getting it from him, so she got like, okay, it's not it. And
But
she
you
did
know,
share that the management, I keep saying management, producers
Producers.
said, you know, give it a shot. Go to, what do you call it? Go to Mexico, see if something will manifest. And it didn't. But then Nick said, you know, do you take her words, or are you taking their words? And he still said no. He said, I believe she came
I'm gonna-
to get famous.
Well, let me just say something. And I can understand why would Zach would say that. The woman was, when he wanted to be serious, when he wanted to be serious with Irina, talk about real things and how they're not connecting and all that, she was chuckling, she was resisting, dodging, all that stuff.
Right.
She didn't take him serious. And of
Yeah.
course, he's saying, okay, though, I thought I forged this really great relationship with you. Was it all in my head? Were you lying to me? Of course. He's saying this girl, her words are not matching with her
understand.
actions.
I understand.
And he's going to say that. It's like, I think she came there to be famous.
Okay, no, listen, no, not to be famous. I think both of them came there to find love. Early, first of all, can we talk about when they both decided to reject each other and they're in the bathroom, teeth brushing, all that stuff? He was saying, so when did you find out, you know, you weren't the one? They both start one-upping each other and said, oh, I thought one. And said, other one. They both were saying basically from the jump, we didn't like each other. So why hers automatically is trying to get famous and yours ain't the same thing? Come on now. I think go easy on Irina. She was definitely a mean girl, but I think she took accountability and responsibility for her action, and she heard and even
It's
Bliss.
funny because-
Bliss said that she hopes she grows up from this.
Yeah, I think because, you know, let's be real. Irina needs a lot of growing up.
She does,
But
yeah.
the funniest thing is you have more grace towards Irina than Micah, I feel like.
No.
Because
No, they both have their thing.
I'm
They
more
both have more.
compassionate with Micah a little bit more than Irina. I feel
Because
like Irina is just... Because, we saw how she was with the only friend that she had in there, Micah, and she did her dirty.
And it's true. She did her dirty. But Micah and Irina both were moving funny around there. And so they're both looking at each other saying, okay, so we bad girls and we mean girls and we done each other dirty. Okay, fine. But there is a part Zach was kind of still hounding Irina for the fact that she was playing him, and he even dedicated an Instagram post, and he said something about Instagram posts. Mm-hmm. I forgive you for the sake of grace, but the Instagram
He said
post is
something about
dedicated to you.
receipts. If you want receipts, go on my Instagram.
So I ran to the Instagram and I read it, and I'm just like, what?
It has nothing
It
to
has
do with
nothing to do with
Irina. But it has everything to do with his past. And
He
went
has
through it
He went
growing up.
through it. And everybody acknowledges that, and it is sad. And everybody
about
has
his
a sad.
mother.
Everybody has their sad story too. But to put that on Irina, if I'm reading it right,
I was wondering, where's the receipts? Like,
Yeah.
what receipts are we
That
talking
ain't
about?
receipts for
referring
Irina.
to Irina.
yeah. Because as far as I know, Irina did have a rough background as well. But
I thought she said something about him and about his past. And he has it on text or something like that.
maybe we're reading it wrong. I don't know. Maybe y'all could explain it for us, but I don't see any receipts here. Listen, Zach and Bliss's union, everybody's happy because it's the second chance. Irina, Zach never happened, it's fine. But I'm getting that he still has animosity towards Irina.
A little
And
bit.
A
I
little
can
bit of
definitely see it.
animosity. And Bliss. You need to talk him out of that. Just want to say.
I know, she was holding him. She looked at him. She was holding him. She's like, okay, in a way, I felt like she was saying, calm down.
Too much faith in him.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold him down. That's fine. Now, for the next couple, Paul and Micah. Oh,
They're not a couple anymore.
Oh, yeah. Now, a lot of people had a lot to say about Micah's intentions and if she was genuine or not. Now, I'm glad she had her moment to speak out to clear the air. Now, let's talk about the whole shiftiness in Paul's behavior. Now, Vanessa somehow asked a question about what did he say about the fact that he was flirting with Irina and all that stuff. And then he said, no, listen, let me explain. Me and Micah, we delineated the boundaries as to what is okay between flirting and intimacy. And to my understanding, I wasn't threatened by her or Kwame.
Listen, if you like it or not, Paul, you definitely disrespected the relationship. Both of you guys, Micah and him. You
My relationship with
disrespected-
her was not in danger.
Yeah.
He always know what to say to get himself out of trouble.
He says a lot of things that means nothing.
What do you call it?
Pretzel logic? That's what you said?
Pretzel logic. It is pretzel logic. But the viral video that went out.
So, when Paul was leaving Micah, right?
After he said no.
After saying no, and he talked to her in the back, or I don't know what room he was. When he was leaving her for the last time, he bumped into or tapped
The bridesmaid.
his bridesmaid, her
bride.
bridesmaid, and it seemed like, a tap on the tush or something like that. So now he said he was just, placing there, like showing her that, oh, I'm going through it. Like, I'm moving. Please move a little bit so I can go through. Nothing more, nothing less than, nothing more, nothing less. Other than that, we took it to another level.
He basically said that it was not that deep. You guys are making it deep. There you go. Social media people are making everything a big deal. It was not that deep. Now, Vanessa asked a very important question. I think she asked the question to who? She said, if she asked Micah, if Paul said yes, would you guys would have been married today? Micah took a minute.
She took not even a minute. She took 5 minutes.
And she literally had to gather her thoughts.
She was
sad
tearing up,
and she teared up
crying.
and she said, listen, I don't care what y'all say. Because y'all think she was conniving. She said, I had to know for myself. If he would have genuinely said yes. If he would have genuinely said yes and he was not going to say yes for the sake of not embarrassing me. So I understand. She wanted to know if he is genuine about it.
Like, if he wanted her.
Yeah. If she said yes and he said yes, just so that he doesn't embarrass her.
Yeah,
And she will wonder all her life whether or not it was genuine or not. So she gave him the opportunity to speak first. That was her explanation, guys. And I from the beginning,
I respect
my other video,
her for that. Like, that's a good move.
From the moment I saw it, I was like, you know what, Chelsea, you know her name, Chelsea, yeah. Micah.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, you might have a point going on here. Everybody's like, no, she's being fake. She's trying to say fake. She doesn't want to be the villain. Shelby is her villain. And they brought up Shelby.
Yeah, they brought up her friend.
And they basically...
And, you know, she defended her friend. She's like, my friend, if you like it or not, she is for me. Her delivery is never that great. But she was probably sad or bothered that it went through this way.
Yeah.
So...
And even they asked him, like, Nis asked, like, now that she heard that, she said, yes, like, if you were in her position, would you? He said, I'm not gonna base my answer off of, like, what she could have, would have, should have done. Like, I basically moved to the beat of my own drum, and I would have said, no. He even said about a knee-jerk reaction.
Paul, you're all over the place.
Yeah.
I think you actually showed... You know, we said something in our previous video, and it finally showed this guy was never transparent.
Yeah, and you remember they brought up the idea about, like, her not being a mom?
Yeah.
Vanessa brought up?
And I said, she may have motherly, intention.
And she said that's the worst thing he could have ever said that to me. And he said...
Because they talked about it. She talks about, how being a mother is an important thing in her life. Like,
and she said, during the pod, that's all I could be thinking about. She said, we talked about that.
Yeah.
In the pod, we talked about being a mom, and all that stuff. It's the first time you ever brought up. It was after the altar when you said no.
And she also said, because the reason why I want to be a mom is because I'm a rainbow baby. Like, her mom was having a hard time conceiving, and finally her mom had her. So knowing that, she says, I definitely want a family, I want to have kids and all that. And she told that to him.
Yeah. And then he took the opportunity and said, well, hold on, let me rephrase it. He said, like, I'm going to rephrase it.
Rephrase it.
Yeah, he said that, I can't see us as parents because I can't, incision myself as a father, or I cannot, like, picture myself as father, and I want to take 100% accountability, responsibility for my half of that equation. I think why I couldn't see that in her was that I wasn't inspiring that in her.
Mm-hmm. Like a whole lot of nothing for all I care.
And
just say straight up, you didn't see her as the mother of your child, and you should have said that in the beginning. You should have left in the beginning. Yeah. But you just dragged her. As usual, you dragged her.
It wasn't evident in my vision. Mm-hmm. It wasn't evident in my vision. She goes, even though she did multiple times stated about it, he goes, well, it wasn't impaired. I don't think I encouraged that from her. Like, and then Vanessa asked, Micah, do you understand what he said? And she goes, no, I didn't understand what he said. I said, we're still here.
Let's not forget, Zach was whispering to Paul in the corner.
And Vanessa caught it.
Yeah, she definitely did. And after
Zach jumped in.
And after he's like, Micah, you're going after Paul for blood. Paul, what's going on?
Not Paul. Zach.
Zach, what's going on?
Zach, aren't you not
happy with Bliss?
I can't. You're getting way too comfortable. He goes, and then he said that there was some woman shared that
somebody in that room.
He wasn't even gonna marry. She wasn't even gonna marry.
She wasn't gonna say yes.
She wasn't gonna say yes to Paul.
And they're like, who said that? Who said
was
that?
Was it you, Chelsea?
I said, who said that?
Okay, no, was it you, Tiffany? Was it you, Irina? And Irina was like, well.
Like, Irina, like, obviously there's something wrong with you.
Okay.
I'm going to say that.
Anyways, but listen, let's just say it was a hearsay. Micah is literally right there to share her story and her just as much as you had the grace to share your story and to clean up your image with Bliss.
I actually applaud to Micah and how she presented herself.
Micah explained it herself,
really
and she said, I'm not here for blood.
Lovely.
Can you not see me? I'm crying. I'm not here for blood. What are you talking about? Zach have several seats.
Yeah, it's just like me and Paul already had this conversation. And not forget, you guys, don't forget, they dated after the wedding.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, they did, and it didn't work out. So Zach, where are you coming from?
Now, for the last group that we haven't talked about, which everybody's blowing it up on social media.
Marshall, Jackie, and Josh.
Yeah. Listen, Jackie did not show up. She decided to do it via Zoom with Vanessa, which I think...
What's her name? Vanessa didn't really put that much pressure on her.
No. And, Marshall shared that she got out twice.
Yeah.
She got out twice. She let out easily during the filming production, and she got out now after it.
He doesn't have complete closure. That's what I'm saying.
No, everybody, Irina and Zach got their allegedly closure. So many people got their closure. Micah and Paul, Kwame, and everybody's getting their closure. Marshall never got it, and he got out easily. Now, Jackie and Josh.
He didn't get out easily. Jackie got out.
Exactly easily. Now, completely Jackie and Josh were trying to paint out an image of like
loving relationship.
It was supposed to happen this year.
Together. They
and
have
she
a
tried to
dog.
clarify. Yeah, and she tried to clarify the saying that listen, I ain't no cheater. Okay, I broke up with him before I met Josh at the cafe. I don't think anybody cares because the reality, realistic speaking, is that your feelings are in two places.
Yeah. You weren't transparent.
And
you led Marshall on.
If you told Marshall like, hey, listen, I'm having somewhat feelings with him. She said I had PTSD when I heard Josh's voice. What?
Yeah, because it was a familiar voice. That's what she means.
Yeah, but he's inciting so much feelings and emotions with her.
You were hearing him, but were you listening to him what he was saying? I don't know how you were turned on by that guy.
Yeah, that's her flavor. Now listen, she did brought up say I'm not taking any accountability other than the fact that I go from 0 to 100.
Because she was all over the place. One time she's happy, and then the other time she's crying.
But that's not the problem. That's not the main problem. The main problem is that you go 0 to 100. We know that. And you were the one who said allegedly that you are crazy. You said it.
She said it.
But everything people are taking about the fact that you and Marshall are supposed to have this mature relationship that is dissolving. Handle it properly. Yeah. Don't do what you have done. Which basically was very unfair. It was very immature.
Now, but what do you think about Marshall? Listen, I have to give some blame to...
Let's talk about the ring thing.
Okay, let's start with the ring.
Well, Vanessa brought it up. Vanessa, you let completely Jackie and Josh
slide.
Like, it brought up the ring thing. And then she said, like, the ring, belongs to me. And she said, and besides...
It should.
And then she goes, why do you think Marshall wanted to get the ring back? And she goes, because he wanted to propose to another girl. And then Josh, being so petty, said, which they stopped dating after two weeks after post-production.
Yeah. At this point, why would you say that when you're in a relationship with Josh? Like, you clearly moved on, but
imagine they're both their relationship is sustaining off of the slander and the backbiting of Marshall.
You know what? If she
so
was
sad,
I feel like Jackie, you should have said this. At one point, I was in love with Josh, and I wanted to keep a reminder, which was the ring.
Josh.
Not Josh, with Marshall. Yeah, Marshall.
Yeah.
I want a reminder of our love together.
Yeah, and and Vanessa did ask Marshall, like, what do you think after that? And he was trying his best to be unaffected, but I think everybody can see.
Everybody can see the facial expression was all over the place.
Because he wasn't getting the proper closure he needed or to get things off his chest.
Yeah.
He's doing it through the screen or he's doing it through the eyes of Vanessa. But he did explain the ring scenario, and he said that no, that ring symbolized something. It was symbolized. I picked up the ring and I said that ring is going to look great on Jackie. It's going to be the ring that I'm going to propose to Jackie. It symbolized something, and he wanted to give it to her. And if it's not going to be for her, it ain't should be for nobody.
But you know what? I have to say, do you want a ring that reminds you of a woman who rejected you?
No, I don't. I think he's going to take it back and he's going to pawn it or maybe give back
$3,000
and give it to maybe Love is Blind Production so other stories could.
I think the rings, whoever keeps the rings just keeps it. You know what I mean? Whoever, but yeah. So.
Well, she probably pawned it.
She probably pawned and bought some shoes. Yeah. Other than that.
And then they brought up about the whole Keisha girl or Keisha or something like that. And he said, listen, when I got broken up and allegedly Jackie was the one who aired the separation of them, this new girl,
slid in his
DMs and let him know that, condolences and all that said, I'm sorry about this stuff. And he said, and it's
not?
my right to entertain that and explore that. And he said, nothing happened. He said, I went on one date, one innocent date.
Yeah. As he should. Go out, see what's out there. But he
said, listen, it didn't work out. And I decided that, I need to work on myself. It's not it. It's not working out.
And I need to work on myself. He said that because if you look at his experience personally, there is so many red flags that is coming from Jackie.
100%.
I don't know why he stayed that long.
And I might want to share this. I don't, Marshall, he has so much great characteristics. A lot of girls like in a guy. He's very, understanding. He's entertaining, fun. It's great. And there's nothing wrong with him. But Jackie is not looking for a guy like that. She's looking for a sultry, rough,
rugged,
snappy,
hardcore. I don't know.
What's the word? Aggressive. Okay.
And she kind of got that because she's been in a year in a relationship with Josh. And it's working.
Yeah. And then Marshall shared, I think for the general public, let this whole situation rest.
Yeah, I think
and if it's a year, the minute they said, it's a year, it's like, I should rest right now because it's pretty much done.
I want to say one thing. Who had the best dress?
I couldn't see.
You couldn't see.
I couldn't see. I was so busy like, oh wait, hold on. Is everybody being dragged correctly?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Chelsea? Pink?
Chelsea? No.
Irina. No. Irina.
Irina had a girl all dressed in black.
Beautiful. Everything.
I have
Snatched,
to
fit
say-
in, glittery. I loved it.
I have to say, Micah.
Not the
red-
mean girl.
I don't know. We're choosing the mean girls. Well, they definitely know how to dress.
The thing is, I think Tiffany had a beautiful dress, but all I saw was a white. It was a white ensemble, but I only saw it was from over here, so I didn't see how it flowed. But we saw Irina's flow and all that stuff, and
It
yeah,
fit her very well. I
Yeah.
can't deny it. But
best
I like
guy dress is
Micah.
Brett.
Brett. of
Kwame
course.
tried it, but Brett.
The least, Paul.
Yeah, I was gonna say Paul. Yeah.
What is going on, Paul?
Yeah.
So, you guys, that is our review for season 4 reunion.
Love is Blind live.
Live. The live definitely canceled. But other than that, you guys please subscribe and like this video. And bye now.